To be or not to be? That is what Chris was supposed to say at the play.
He's our family guy.
Playtime and Phony Montana are the 8th and 9th episodes respectively, and both aired yesterday on Sunday, March 15th. In order to save the Quahog Playhouse from closure, Lois brings a ton of Quahog residents together and sets up 3 plays on the same night to raise funds. The cast starts by performing a sloppy production of To Kill a Mockingbird. Faticus Inch is the single father of Scout and Jim, who are tasked with defending a black man named Tom in court against a white woman accusing him of assault. Finch provides undeniable evidence that she is lying, but the jury declares Tom guilty regardless. Throughout the trial, Brian repeatedly complains about the racist justice system and takes his anger out on a mockingbird who lands on the courtroom window. In the end, Scout and Jem walk home after dark, only to be attacked by a vengeful Bob Ewell and saved by Pooh Badley. Next up is a rendition of The Odd Couple. Felix asks if he can move in with Oscar after his wife dumped him, and Oscar agrees. The two live together among the filth in Oscar's apartment, but Felix repeatedly complains about his habits, including his ad-libbed lines and his invitation of the pigeon ladies over for a double date, despite Felix not being ready to date again. Felix gets back at him by taking both of the pigeon ladies to bed, which gets him kicked out. The play ends with the rickety balcony from the first play falling onto the stage. Finally, in a performance of Hamlet, the titular character has to deal with the stress of his mother, the Queen of Denmark, hastily marrying his uncle Claudius. Simultaneously, he must contend with his late father's long list of demands after meeting his ghost. Eventually, Claudius catches on to the fact that Hamlet is plotting to murder him, but Lois interrupts the play, acknowledging everything that went wrong behind the scenes and deciding to skip to the end, with Hamlet trouncing Claudius in combat. So that was Playtime. It was a very interesting episode. Now, am I the biggest fan of classic plays and Shakespeare? No, but it was pretty funny seeing these get parodied. So I'd give this episode an 8 out of 10. After a bus full of migrants is shipped to Quahog, Brian attends the support rally and falls for a Cuban America food vendor named Carmen. The two go out for a date at the Quahog Havana Club after her original date gets abruptly deported, but Brian gets a migraine from the loud music and cigarette smoke and passes out. Once he comes to, he discovers he now has foreign accent syndrome, causing him to speak in a Cuban dialect.
I just open my mouth and this is the voice that comes out, you know?
Fearing that Carmen will think he's mocking her, Brian minimizes contact, but eventually gets invited to her cousin's wedding as her date. Stewie gives Brian a voice-modulating necklace, which eventually malfunctions and causes Brian to offend Carmen's family. He initiates a food fight that knocks him out and reverts his voice to normal, and also gets himself dumped as a result. Meanwhile, Peter and Lois hit it off on a double date at Prietos with Crystal and Clay Duffy. But Peter's friends warn him that they're actually swingers and are only hanging with them in order to get them into bed. Despite repeatedly claiming they're not interested but would like to be asked, Peter and Lois try to bait their new friends into initiating sex after their second hangout, planning to shoot them down in response. But Crystal and Clay don't pick up what they're putting down. After coming on too strong upon being invited to their place, Peter and Lois are told that Crystal and Clay are swingers, but are only interested in them as flaccid friends. They nonetheless do it hard on the couch before getting the boot. So that was Phony Montana. The A-plot was definitely... it's modern, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. But the B-plot was pretty good. I know in the last video I said I was kind of tired of the Peter and Lois marriage problems, but this is something I actually don't mind, cause it's something different. It's a very interesting concept. So all in all, I'll give this one an 8.5 out of 10. But what do you guys think? Hopefully you enjoyed this video and the episodes too. Did you like the episodes? Did you think they were okay? Which one did you prefer? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, thanks for watching, enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you when I see you.